Hello everyone. So today we have conducted an interview with the Atul sir, who has selected in UPSC examination and gotten the rank 896, and the post has been allotted to him, IRS post. So sir, first of all, congrats from all of us.
Thank you.
Okay sir, some kind of questions which always goes into the mind of civil service aspirants that we really need to get answers from your experiences. So let's start with the sum of questions. Sir, the general perception always goes into the mind of people like aspirants, like this examination, which is very toughest examination. This examination is for elimination, not for selection. So what would you say?
Ma'am, every year more than 1 million students fill the form for UPSC, and in those 1 million students, only 13 to 14,000 people get selected for mains.
Okay.
So the prelim stage is like elimination stage, but then after prelim stage, mains and interview stage are for selection stage.
Okay.
Because thereon competition will increase and you have to perform well so that you can get selected.
Okay, so you can say this examination is for selection not for
process.
elimination.
Yes,
okay, sir, my next question, how did you make this success possible? Like, is there any specific strategy which you have adopted for this success?
Ma'am, for this exam you have to have a strong mental strength, and you have to prepare a timetable. You have to prepare your mind that you have to give this exam for UPSC. You have to give at least 1 to 2 years for this exam, because this exam process is very lengthy. You have to give prelims, mains, then interview. There is interview, then you have to wait for the result, which is very difficult. So you have to maintain your calm. You have to maintain that you have strong mental strength. Then only you can get selected in this exam.
Okay, sir. Sir, what was your source of inspiration? Like the credit according to you, whom will be your inspiration for your success?
Ma'am, the credit of my success goes to my parents.
Okay.
No doubt about that. My parents have continuously supported to me for last 3 years, and the inspiration which I get for this civil service exam was from Shah Faisal, first topper of Jammu and Kashmir in UPSC, and then there is Shahid Iqbal Choudhary. He is very good administrator. He also got Prime Minister Award for his administration. Then there is Athar Amir sir, who got second rank in 2015. So these people were inspiration for me.
Okay, sir, as we know, the huge syllabus of GS in prelims and mains, and there's also optional. But okay, we will talk about the optional part later on. But first of all, we observe the huge syllabus for GS prelims and mains. So how did you manage the preparation of both it?
Ma'am, prelims and mains, I think you have to approach a integrated approach. You have to get an integrated approach for prelims and mains, because there is no exact rigidity in prelims and ऐसा नहीं है. You have to maintain an integrated approach in prelims and mains, because syllabus are almost overlapping. With that, you have to also solve the prelims paper, last year paper, for which Kiran publication book. Okay. This book is very helpful. This book, last 30 years paper has been given in this book. So this is a single book source. You can solve last year paper from this source. And also for mains, you have to continue do answer writing so that you can develop your answer skills.
So according to you, integrate approach is the best approach for prelims and mains for GS particular. Okay, sir, like as we know, newspapers are very important part of this preparation. So do you really think the newspaper reading newspapers are very relevant to this preparation or not?
I think UPSC preparation need answer the Hindu newspaper or Indian Express. You have to read newspaper in UPSC preparation, because without UPSC without newspaper you can't prepare for UPSC. Okay. Because you can get any source, you can get any information from the newspaper, and also if you analyze the last year questions, then you can get directly from the newspaper. So without newspaper you can't prepare for UPSC.
Is there any compulsion to read both newspapers, 2 newspapers at least, or one newspaper is sufficient?
Ma'am, I only read the Hindu newspaper.
The Hindi newspaper.
Yes, ma'am. The one newspaper I think is sufficient. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What about, sir, Hindi medium students, Hindi medium aspirants who never understand the English newspaper? So, any suggestion for them?
For Hindi medium students, you can get source from any institute. You can get also Kiran publication also release Hindi medium books. So you can get information from that. Also there are also very good Hindi newspapers. You can get reference from that. Also PIB, Press Information Bureau, also release all the information in Hindi also.
Okay.
So you can get reference from that also.
Sir, as we know, the ethics paper has been added into this, GS mains examinations as a subject, and we know this subject is very analytical, very logical subject, and sometimes it is very, it is quite difficult to get good score in this paper, and there is also case studies. So how did you manage this subject specially, and what was your strategy in the preparation of ethics paper?
Ethics paper is very analytical paper. So what you have to do is, first of all you have to understand the terms given in the syllabus. For example, objectivity, integrity, attitude. You have to understand those terms, and then with those terms you have to apply your own real life example, so that there is a proper answer for that. And you have to develop analytical skill in ethics, so that you can get good marks. And you can also apply paragraph approach for ethics. I think paragraph approach is more good for ethics.
Sir, like we know, there's huge syllabus of GS, and for lengthy syllabus, how did you manage to collect relevant material from the market? Like there are so many material available in the market, online, offline. How did you choose specific material?
Ma'am, UPSC preparation industry, UPSC industry is very big now. You can get online source, you can get offline source. There are various number of sources and equally good sources. What you have to do is, you have to restrict to one source.
One source.
That one source, then you have to revise that source. Because revision is very important. If you have to get selected in UPSC, you have to get your material revised. Because if you are not revising things, then you cannot recall in the real examination. Or if you are not revising and not recalling, then you cannot get selected. So you have to integrate your approach to one source only.
Okay. So did you maintain your handwritten notes or not?
I rely on handwritten notes, because I think handwritten notes you can get revised easily, and you can remember. It is compulsion
for everyone?
No, you can also prepare online notes.
Okay.
You can also prepare online on your laptop or phone, whatever you are comfortable in. I am comfortable in my handwritten notes. That's why I always maintain my handwritten notes.
Okay. Sir, what was your optional subject?
My optional is public administration.
Okay, I think your background is engineering,
Yes,
BTech, and you choose the humanity subject. How did you choose particular this subject?
When I was start preparing for UPSC in 2015, I go through the syllabus of all optionals.
All optionals?
I shortlisted some optionals like political science, public administration, sociology. The most interesting syllabus which I think was of public administration, because you actually get the inside of what administration is, and you also get help from the for other subjects. For example, GS2, ethics, as sometimes essay also. Your public administration is very interesting subject, so you can rely on that. If you are thinking that this subject is interesting, because you have to spend at least 10 hours of a day with optional. So you have to think that
develop
it is
interest.
Yes, interest.
The most important is interest. That
you
has
have to
be
develop
there.
interest. Yes.
Okay, sir. Like there is optional. There's GS syllabus also, prelims and mains. So how did you divide your time in a day so that you would be managed to all these things in a day?
Actually, the timetable for a day was divided into 4 parts.
4 parts.
First part for optional, which I have to continue. You have to continue for whole years, because optional is very scoring. Second part was for general studies. You can manage GS1, GS2 accordingly. Then third was
mains approach first.
Integrated approach, prelims and mains. Then third part was previous year question of prelims.
Okay.
For which Kiran publication book is very good. You can rely on that source. And fourth part was answer writing. I think for mains you have to rely on answer writing. Answer writing is very important to get selected.
Generally, how many hours would take in these 4 parts in your day?
Ma'am, when you are into UPSC preparation, there is no rigid approach. You have to give 8 hours or 10 hours to this preparation. You are into UPSC preparation. Every action, everything you are doing is related to UPSC. So it is not you have to give 8 hours or 10 hours for the preparation. Okay. It's all 24 hours you are related to UPSC.
Okay. Sir, what was your answer writing in your examination? Like some of would like to adopt paragraphs, some would like to adopt point wise. So what was your answer writing format?
For optional and GS 1, 2, 3, I rely on point format, and for ethics I rely on paraformal, because ethics is more of an analytical paper. So you have to make the.
Did you also make some diagrams in papers?
Yes. GS 1, 2, 3, I make at least 10 diagrams.
1, 2, 3, but how it would be? Like one is, your
For
history.
example, in geography
Geography, what
section
geography
you can
is
make
yes.
diagrams. In history also, if there is a question on 1857 revolt,
yes.
so you can make diagram India map and you can show where the revolt
very good
was
approach,
associated
very nice
with.
approach.
And then GS2 paper, international relation. And international relation you can focus on, and then paper 3 security portion you can show the border management.
Borderline. Okay.
This year there is a question of drug trafficking. You can show the 3 triangles in north side, and also you can show east and west to India problem border management.
Okay, sir. Like whenever we write an answer, a lot of sentences would come in our mind, and we know there is a word limit in examinations. So how did you manage your lot of thinking, lot of thoughts coming up in your mind, and there's word limit also there. So how did you manage your time?
Ma'am, in UPSC you have to write 4,000 words in 3 hours. And for that you have to rely on answer writing. And if you are doing daily answer writing, then you can also limit your answers and can also produce a best answer in those 200 words. So answer for that preparation you have to complete your paper also. So for that you have to do answer writing daily, so that you can complete your paper,
daily
and
practices would definitely come out.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir, did you undertake any test series for prelims and mains?
For prelims, I totally focus on any of the 2 test series.
2 test series.
You
solved at your home only, or you went to the institution?
1 test series I applied for, and 2nd test series I take from the market.
Yes.
Okay.
Both, this practice both in prelims as well as mains?
For mains, yes. For mains, you can also apply for any institute.
Is it compulsion for everyone to join any institution for mock test series or not?
No, many candidates who are doing their jobs, who don't have time for test series, they don't apply for test series. If you have confidence that you can also rely on other online sources for daily answer writing practices, by which you can develop your answer skills, and there is no compulsion. If you can apply for answer writing test series, and it's good, but it is not any compulsion. You can.
Sir, as we know, this examination, which is very toughest examination, it demands particular period of time which we really need to devote towards it. And as you told us, like you have been engaged in this preparation since 2015.
Yes.
And I'm sure there was some distractions that would come in your path. So how did you manage your tempo and your preparation time? So
this process, UPSC process, need very strong mental strength. You can get motivated, demotivated on the same day.
So how do you avoid this distraction, sir?
You can talk to your parents. You can watch online toppers videos, so that you can get motivated daily on the daily basis, so that you can continue your approach.
Okay. Sir, did you find internet online material are very useful, because today's scenario is digitalization? So do you really think it is very important source for preparation, or without it there's no study, there's very difficult preparation for UPSC without these resources?
Yes, online sources are very important today. You have to rely on current affairs sources. Various government websites are there, but you have to restrict your source.
Any particular sites which you would like to recommend all of aspirants?
Press Information Bureau is very good.
PIB.
Rashtriya Sabha TV, Rajya Sabha TV, Lok Sabha TV, they are very good source for UPSC preparation. But again, you have to restrict your source, because you cannot watch each and everything.
Yes. Sure. Okay, sir, how important is the preparation for final interview? Like you have started for the interview since the starting period of preparation, or later on you have started after mains, you have started the preparation for final interview?
See, you have to keep on back of your mind that you also have to give an interview at the last stage of the UPSC.
Stage of this.
But the main focus which I give for interview was after mains result. After mains result, I continuously give various mock interviews, so that my confident level get developed and I get comfortable in final UPSC interview. But after that, there is also internal personality, because this is not interview stage, this is a personality test. You also have to develop your personality, you also have to develop other skills so that you can impress the examiners.
Okay. Sir, you have gotten the reputed rank in UPSC examination, and I think you have just written mains examination also for the
2018.
2018. Did you modify your strategy while appearing for this examination this year from the last year or not?
Main difference between last year and this year approach was I was continuously engaged in answer writing. I continuously focus on answer writing, because I can, after giving 2 mains in first and second attempt, one thing that I can understand is that answer writing is very important. Okay. Without answer writing, you cannot complete your paper, and you cannot also write best answers in those 150 words for 10 marker and 250 words for 15 marker. So you have to write best answers in those 3 hours. For that, answer writing is very important.
At the end, I really would like to ask some kind of advice or suggestions for our future civil service aspirants, and what would you like to give suggestions to our civil service aspirants for their success?
See, the UPSC process need very strong mental strength. You will get motivated, you will get demotivated in this process. So you have to have strong mental strength, and you have to have desire in yourself to get selected in UPSC, so that you can serve the country, you can serve the society. For that, you have to continuously be motivated and continuously move forward. You will get selected.
So as sir has told us, we have to be very strong, mentally strong. We have to be very positive. That these 2 things in our life which always make us focus on our goal. So all the best for your examination, and thank you, sir, for coming here and take out your busy schedule for us and share your experience with all of us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.